Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire. And I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about sometimes we forget how much God has done for us. Um, yeah, man, like sometimes we just forget like how much God has done for us. Like think of all the prayers like you prayed years ago that God answered. You know what I'm saying? Think of all the situations years ago that God delivered you from. I'm not even talking about situations that God delivered you from last week or the last month. Think of like the prayers that you prayed to God when you was younger and God answered. You know what I'm saying? Think of all the things that God delivered you from, the situations that God delivered you from years ago. I'm not even talking about stuff that happened recently. Let's start with the stuff that happened years ago. Think of all the nice things that God did for you years ago. You know what I'm saying? Think of all the character development, like different blessings that God gave you years ago. Think of it like this, right? Every single day that God woke you up, that's something that God did for you. That's a blessing. So every single day that God woke you up, since the day you was born, bruh, man, sometimes we forget how much God has done for us because God woke you up every single morning for years, bruh. For years. God woke you up every single morning for years, bruh. And sometimes we just forget how much God has done for us. Sometimes when we think about what God has done for us, we think of it like from the recent events in our life. We think of it like, okay, from the past year or from the last couple months, you know what I'm saying? Last couple of weeks or a few days ago. Man, we need to look back all the way since the beginning, since we was born, bro. You know, um, even being born, that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like even being born, God allowed you to be born the right way. Because some people, they don't even get born the right way. You got some babies out there, they get born with all types of different bath, is that the right word? Birth. Yeah, they get born with all types of different birth uh, issues and problems. Some people be getting born like they can't see, you know what I'm saying? All types of different things that people really people deal with, man, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to just put your mind on to the fact that God has done a lot for us, man. God has done a lot. And then you got people who be walking around as though God has not done nothing. God has done so much to whereas we forget. We forget how much God has done for us, man. Let's be real. We forget because it's been such a long journey. God has done so much. You know, God has given us air to breathe. You know, God has given us lungs. God has given us eyes to see. But he hasn't just given you eyes to see for one day. Because God could have been like, okay, I'm going to give you eyes to see for 24 hours. And then after that, I'm going to take them back. Nah, God has given us eyes to see. God has given us eyes to see uh for years, bruh. And then you got to look at all the other things that God gave us every single day. Every single day. God gave you legs, bruh, to walk every single day, bruh. God could have easily put an expiration date on like your hands. Be like, okay, after like after you reach like age 20, your hands is not gonna be there no more. You're gonna lose your hands. You know what I'm saying? God could have easily done that, but God has been faithful and God has been blessing a lot of people for years, man. God has been blessing us for years, faithfully, bro, over a lot of different areas of our life. And we just gotta get more into like worshiping God and being more thankful because, man, without any of this stuff, I repeat, without any of this stuff, bro, we would be suffering in ways that we can't even imagine, bro. Without any of this stuff, we'll be suffering, man. Without different things in our life, you know what I'm saying? God gave you food to eat. For years, bro. I'm talking about for years, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like God has been providing food for us for like almost every single day, bro. For years though. For years. That's what we forget sometimes. It's been for years though. It's not something that just started recently. Okay, let's say you didn't have food from the time you was born till like you reached the age 20. You ain't had no food. You will not be alive. So God provided food for you to eat for years and every single day, bro. Don't you know how many blessings that God has provided? That's daily blessings that we overlook. You know what I'm saying? Because when something happens daily, we tend to overlook it. Something about us as humans, it's like when we receive something abundantly and we receive something every single day, sometimes we could start to overlook it. But we have to be thankful, man. We have to be thankful, bro. Every single day we got to be thankful because we are in a situation where, you know, being ungrateful could just anger God. You could literally anger God because you are being ungrateful. And then God could take it away. And now you're suffering, bro. What happens when blessings get taken away? You suffer. That's literally what happens. Blessing gets taken away, you suffer. That's literally the equation to life. Blessings taken away, you start suffering. You know what I'm saying? Different stuff gets taken away that you take for granted, you start to suffer. That's really what happens, you know? And this is just something I just wanted to talk about, man. Like, God has been really, like, faithful to a lot of us and just been blessing us for a very, very long time. And we gotta be thankful, bro. We gotta worship and praise God, bro. We gotta be thankful, man. We gotta be grateful, man. We cannot be walking around like ungrateful. Some people be walking around just ungrateful by the way they talk. But even God gave you the gift to speak. So you using the gift to speak that God gave you every single day just to say ungrateful stuff every single day. You know what I'm saying? So it's as though we be abusing God's blessings. If we be honest, really, like we be abusing God's blessings. The very things that God gives us, we turn around and use it against God. Look at all these musicians and all these singers. Who gave them their voices? God. But then they turn around and use their voices against God. They singing for the devil now. They rapping for the devil now. But it's God who gave you that gift. And then you turn around and you use the gift that God gave you against God. What type of sick stuff we be doing with our lives down here, bro? But, man, that's just basically all I wanted to talk about, man. Peace.